indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, I would like to see if there's anyone here that would like to make public comment. At the same time, I would like to ask you to keep your comments to 4 to 5 minutes in length. We'll start with a few people and go from there. So we're going to start. Anybody over here want to publicly address the board? Go ahead, young ladies. 4 to 5 minutes, not 4 to 5 minutes.
If you would like to use the mic, you can do that.
Okay.
First, I would like to thank the board of members for allowing me to speak. You may already know me, but for the ones who don't, my name is Katie Stin. I'm an 8th grader at Sangamon Middle School. I am many things, but among those things, I'm a football player. I was a cheerleader.
Would you like someone else to go first? Take a minute?
I can go first.
Okay.
It's okay. No, stay here. Stay here. You may already know me, but for the ones that do not, my name is Katie Stanton. I'm an 8th grader at Sangamon Valley Middle School. I am many things, but among them, I'm a football player. I was a cheerleader for 1 year and a football player for 5. I saw the boys playing football and I wanted in. That was what sparked my love for football. My mom absolutely hated the idea of her baby girl playing football, but one amazing person convinced an unconvincible woman, and that person was Greg Hutchins. My mom said if I could make it through football camp, then I could play. So I went to camp every day and I stuck through it, and then the real challenge started. I didn't know how to play football at all that well, so in the first week I got dominated on the line. I thought I was done, so I went up to coach and said that I quit. The exact sentence that he said was, "No you don't," and that was that. He would pull me off to the side when I needed help and gave me some tips and then let me go back. Then finally came the time we were just days away from our first football game. Coach was picking starters and backups. When he said that I was going to start left tackle, I was shocked. He saw something in me that no one else saw. From that first game to my very last game, he has been by my side. He made me the mean machine that I am today, all because of one chance. From then on, I loved football and knew it was in my heart, all because of a coach giving me a chance, and with that one chance, I took off. I've been playing football for 5 years and hopefully in the future too, all because of one chance. My life changed forever. People need chances to spark a change. Yes, coach made a mistake, but haven't we all? I went into my first year of high school football after 5 full years of coaching and directing from a coach. I want him there. He is the reason as to why I do football in the first place. I would hate for this mistake to prevent him from seeing the various school graduations coming up, just like he has one shot at seeing his son play his first year of high school football, he has only one shot of seeing those graduations. There are only one shot at a lot of things in life. If my coach can't see me play the first year of high school on that football field, I would be destroyed. I owe him a lot. I trust him with my life, and I would spare mine for his. He means a lot to me, and I would be devastated. And he is the whole reason that I play this game, and I want to continue to play football. Please don't keep such an amazing coach from helping other kids, just like he did for me. He contributes so much to this school and to the kids. I'm not saying that you should give him some special privileges for these acts. What I'm saying for it is to look in your hearts and give him another chance.
Okay, is there anyone else?
Hello. My name is Jason Oakleaf. I have lived in the school district for 36 years. I am here in support and as a witness for Greg Hutchins. I have known Greg for over for 20 years. My kids and his kids have played sports together since they were 5 years old. Greg and I even coached youth league baseball together for several years. So when I say I want fair and equal treatment for our kids, he would say the same. Before I continue, I will say I have been that parent, frustrated to the point where I have said some things I probably shouldn't have. Many of you in this room can say that. When did voicing your opinion warrant this type of action? This is all I witnessed Greg doing, was voicing his opinion. This brings me to the night in question when Greg allegedly put his hands on a school employee. I never witnessed this. I came out of the stands, walked across the floor, and saw Greg's wife, Christy, standing between Greg and the officer. I grabbed Greg and told him, let it go. Christy told the officer he was leaving and put her arms up and touched the officer. The officer then said, don't touch me. Then Christy and I were telling Greg to leave. That's when Greg's father came and grabbed Greg. We got Greg turned around and we walked him out of the gym doors. Never once did I see Greg physically touch a school employee. Was Greg loud in voicing his opinion? Yes. Do I feel like Greg was 100% correct in his actions? No. Do I feel like 1 year ban from school activities is 100% right? No. He has already missed 3 of his son's games, but taking away watching your 3 children graduate high school and junior high is a bit extreme. Thank you.
Is there anyone else?
My name is Randy Isaac. I moved to this school district approximately 13, 14 years ago. And I've known Greg real shortly after that. The reason I ran into Greg was, as fire chief here in Ianni, Coach Lee always asked me every chance we got to come down and put some water on the field to try to make it softer for the players and to make it look better for this community when other teams come. Well, at one point, we was down in, I believe it was Pawnee, and we seen their watering system down there coming out of the creek, and I told Coach Lee that I'd check around and see if I can find some funds and donations to get something started on that. Well, I was hitting dead ends, but Greg didn't. He brought in his own equipment, his own employees, took care of a lot of the watering system for the football field, which took a lot of time off me also, getting trucks down here during training to just to water the field. He also, I was over with him at the Harristown School when he also donated his time, not getting any money out of, or requesting any money out of the track at the Harristown School. Everything I know about Greg, every time that I've asked him for anything, and it's never been for myself, but it's been to help out, donate, he's always been there. I had my kids go through sports as well. I refused to let one of them play basketball because of who the coach was, being Coach Myers. The reason being was there's twice, which Mr. Meadows can validate, that I've had problems with Coach Myers, or at that time, Dean Myers, instigating things with my kids here in the school. And there's other parents that had the same thing. My feelings is before judging somebody on what took place, I think we need to look at both sides, because there's been a lot of things that's been where Coach Myers has instigated things with students and parents.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Madam Board President, may I approach the mic?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Education. My name is David Braun. I'm with Miller, Tracy, Braun, Funk, and Miller. We are your attorneys. Prior to the meeting, I have counsel from Mr. Hutchins here. This is Andrew West. Prior to the meeting, Mr. Wessler approached me to inquire whether the Board of Education would be interested in a resolution to this matter prior to any hearing. We'd like the opportunity to discuss that offer with you in advance of any further public comment, if that would be acceptable to the Board of Education.
We do that in closed session or here? I'd ask before the board considers any closed session discussion, before the board enters any closed session discussion, I believe the board has to allow public comment to occur. If I were to presume that due to a settlement agreement that there may be no more public comment, then I think the Board of Education can consider the settlement of proposed litigation in an appropriately called closed session meeting. Okay. So we've heard a few people on this side who need, is it something? Are there any other comments before we go into closed session? Anyone that would like to speak?
Good evening, Board. My name is Susan Pearson. I spent 12 years as a student in Niagara-Harristown School District. I have taught 17 years in the Niagara-Harristown School District as well as Sangamon Valley School Districts. That is 29 years of my life that I have dedicated to this district. So believe me when I say that this district and its integrity are of great value to me. As I'm speaking here tonight, I'm speaking on behalf of the Sangamon Valley Education Association. And as you can see by our turnout, we as teachers and coaches are a family, eager to support one another. I am grateful to be a voice to share our perspective in regards to Mr. Hutchins' actions. First of all, the hearing tonight is not about a parent disagreeing with a coach's substitution strategy or plays in a game. Disagreements are a given. Different viewpoints are going to be had. This is about an outraged parent displaying no respect for his son's coach as he physically confronted him following a basketball game. This behavior is unacceptable. On the night of February 16th, senior night, Mr. Hutchins made a direct beeline for Coach Myers. He physically pushed to the side anyone who attempted to stop his confrontation with Coach Myers. Did it concern Mr. Hutchins that Coach Myers was holding his young son? No. He continued in his pursuit, yelling very loudly. Thankfully, Mr. Meadows and Deputy Hawthorne interceded. Even with their presence, Mr. Hutchins did not back down and was forced to leave the gymnasium. One can only fear what harm may have been done if Mr. Hutchins was able to follow through with his assault. This behavior warrants harsh consequences. As we become adults, we are expected to mature and demonstrate self-control. As parents, we wish to instill these characteristics in our children. How are children going to be respectful of authority when their parents are not? To all of the parents supporting Mr. Hutchins, I would ask that you put yourself in the same position. Your child sits on the bench. he or she does not get as much playing time as you would like? Is your response to go stomping across the field, screaming profanities, pointing your finger, and physically confronting the JFL coach while all the players, their families, and fans look on?
Yep.
No. If you did this, you would be expected to be escorted off the field and asked not to return. Or board members, put yourself for a moment in the coach's shoes. What if someone in the board meeting were to rush up to your table, screaming profanities, pointing their finger, and physically confronting you here on school property where you are the ones in control or in charge of the meeting? Wouldn't you want that person removed? Wouldn't you have that person banned from future board meetings? Why should Sangamon Valley teachers or coaches be given any less protection or respect than you? I urge you board members to offer consequences that will send a strong message to our Sangamon Valley community that teachers and coaches deserve respect. Sangamon Valley coaches and their families should not be fearful that a play or a substitution in a game will result by an assault by a parent. The Sangamon Valley Education Association feels very passionate about the protection and safety of our members. Board members, please vote in support of your teachers and coaches.
Is there anyone else?
Can I ask a question? Why was the police officer hired?
Protection.
Why does he need protection? Because other parents have had the same issue?
We had two parents
Okay,
approach the bench during a game to a prior game,
okay.
and at that point, Coach Myers came to me and said, I think that we need to have somebody at our games from now till the end of the
There
year.
hasn't been two confrontations, there's been several.
Well,
So
I know, I'm aware of two.
Can I finish, please? So isn't hiring a police officer just putting a Band-Aid on the problem?
I don't, we hire security for football. Is that putting a Band-Aid on a problem? I don't understand what
If that
you mean.
security guard is there just for the coach, yes.
He's not there just for the coach.
Where did the police officer pretty much stand during the whole game?
I don't know. I know where I stood. I stood by the door. I don't know where he was.
Answer that.
He's here.
I know, I see him.
Hey, sir, what did you do to the previous people that had confrontation with the coach? Had you guys done anything to them for what they had done in the past?
Which one are you referring to?
Any of them? Did you guys do any reciprocation to any of the other people? For any other
Are you
confrontation?
referring to the two people that came to the bench?
For the reason
This
you
year.
hired a coach, did you do anything to them other parents?
Well, one of them happened to be Greg, and the other parent also spoke tonight. And no, we didn't, because it wasn't a confrontation of them versus the coach. They came down to talk to their sons at the end of the bench. I don't know what the conversation was. I've heard speculation of what the conversation was, but I wasn't there, and I'm not going to comment on that.
Because you don't have an honest answer to what you're saying.
I'm saying I wasn't there. I don't know. Were you there?
If I was there,
I was there.
I can tell you exactly.
I was the parent that said it.
Said what?
I said exactly, I came down to the end of the bench, and I told the coach exactly the way I felt. It never was at my kid, it was towards the coach.
You spoke directly to the coach on the bench.
I spoke at him. I was at the end of the bench.
I asked you spoke
walking
directly
out
to the
door.
coach.
Huh?
You spoke directly to the coach.
He wasn't even looking at me. He got his back.
And you weren't speaking directly to the coach. You were speaking.
I was talking to him, but he did not hear me. And he was turned around.
At this time, I think the attorneys want us to go into closed session to listen to what what they have to say, correct?
Can I say one thing? In other words, if
Yeah, more public comment.
we face, as parents, we face getting banned, is that what it is?
No, there's a chain of command in the
I
extracurricular
understand chain of
handbook.
command, Mr. Meadows, I fully understand. I for one have been thrown out of more games than any parents in this place. And it hasn't been on school, it's not nothing I'm proud of, but I accepted my bans every time and, went on about my business. But it's what you're saying, is every time somebody has a problem with this coach, this is the consequences we might face. I know one thing, if this is consequences I might face, my boy won't play ball
Correct,
for me.
coach?
Okay, I'm sorry, we have another comment.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say that when I was coaching softball several years ago, a parent came out on the field towards me and made a threat to me, and that person was a worker for the school district and got banned for an entire year from all school activities. It was an honest mistake. She fessed up to it. She lost her job, and she was banned from all activities for a year. That's just the consequence. She fessed up, and that's what she
From
took.
school property?
Yes, it did, at a softball field. Come right on to me because I made a decision to take her daughter out of Hutchins County.
What about parents that have actually been removed from games and was issued a 2 or 3 game suspension and never obeyed that?
Who hasn't obeyed it?
You did.
I don't. Bob, did I serve my?
Yes.
Yeah, don't
You
break
were
in.
thrown out of Mount Pulaski game, Mike.
Yeah, and I served 3 baseball games, and I didn't watch my kid.
Okay, we're back.
Did you go to the baseball games, Wes?
We're back in issue this evening, and we
No,
have
I'm not
another.
just talk.
Okay. One speaker,
One more.
one more.
My name's Scott Sullivan. My wife's been a teacher at Harristown Elementary School for many years. I'd like to say, if I could, that this is not a personality argument here. No one can argue the contributions the Hutchinses have made to the district. I've enjoyed watching the boys play ball and their teams. It's been a lot of fun. I'm sorry for what happened. I'm sorry for where we are right now. But the fact is that we've been through this before. I sat where you guys are. We had a decision, didn't have this many people, of a incident with a softball game that was mentioned. That parent was not allowed to be on school property for 1 year. The incident that happened at senior night is the exact same thing. Parent came on the floor, verbally assaulted the coach. I can't say it was physical, and I can't say I was there when it happened. I wasn't. I'm getting off subject. Let me get to my paper if I could, please. I've acknowledged the Hutchins and their contributions to the community. I'll acknowledge Leonard Williams sitting here. Leonard Williams was a volunteer coach for many years, as was his brother Ted. Randy Craig in Illiopolis. You can go on and on. Many of you have volunteered many hours to this community, this school, and sports programs. It doesn't give you the right to talk to verbally abuse employees, okay? So let's forget about that. I know Mr. and Mrs. Myers both teach in this district. I know they're a young family with young children. They'll be here hopefully for many years. He's an enthusiastic coach. He knows the game of basketball. Maybe everybody doesn't like him. Maybe everybody doesn't agree with what he does, some of the things he says. I had a problem with Mr. Myers when he first came here. After a game one night, my boy was a senior, had some players come out and said, "Hey, Mr. Sullivan, Coach Myers knocked Craig off the bench in the locker room at halftime." It's like, what are you talking about? Well, it was true. He did. We've shown the boys how to set a pick, using my boy as an example, knocked him off the bench, knocked him on the ground. Didn't hurt Craig. He was okay. As a parent of former Sangamon Valley athletes, I know how important sports are. I remember the bus rides, how much fun it was watching the kids win, and how disappointed you were when the kids lost. Talking about the coach didn't play like he should have. He should have thrown a pass to you instead of throwing it away. I've been through all that. I know where you are. I know where you're going. But I can tell you all, in 5 years, when your kids graduate, not gonna matter. These issues that everyone is so worked up tonight, this is gonna go away. What's at issue is bigger than the basketball program. Like what Mrs. Pearson said earlier, it's about the respect for our faculty and our coaches and the way we treat them. As I said, I didn't see what happened that night with myself. From what I understand, Mr. Hutchins came on the floor verbally assaulting Coach Myers. And yes, I understand Coach Myers was holding his son, which doesn't make any difference, I guess, but I don't understand why a person would carry on like that with small children in their presence. As a husband of a faculty member, I can't imagine my wife being in a position like this. Now, normally kindergarten parents don't react like that, but you'd be surprised at what happens. As I said, I was on this board before. Precedence has been set for an incident like this when a parent was excluded from school activities for 1 year. I think that's fair, and I think it's what the board should decide tonight. Thank you.
Shouldn't that respect go both ways, not just you and the faculty?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, what?
Thanks for mentioning that.
I can't hear you.
Shouldn't that respect go both ways, he said? Not just to the faculty? And Mr. Sullivan also mentioned about his son being knocked off the bench at halftime. What did Mr. Myers get for physically touching the kid and knocking him off the bench?
I think you misunderstood. He said he was trying to show someone how to set a pick and his son got knocked off. There's a difference between knocking someone off and accident, like when we show football, Greg has done it. When you show somebody how to tackle, someone's gonna fall down. I don't think it was a physical assault. I think you're misunderstanding what he had said.
So I'd like to get back on track with the hearing that we're doing tonight. Are you ready to go into closed session and have this discussion?
We're ready if you are.
All right. So I'd like to make, someone needs to make a motion to go into closed session, please. So moved by Leonard Williams. Is there a second? Brad Santola, for a second. Call roll, please.
Santola? Yes.
Guerrero? Yes.
Leeper? Yes. Oakley?
Yes.
Staub?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Williams?
Pending or threatened litigation,
Yes.
closed session to discuss pending or threatened litigation, is that accurate? I'm asking, I'm not.
To discuss pending
Or threatened litigation.
or threatened litigation.
And if that wasn't the motion, or if that wasn't the understanding of the board members, I'd ask that there be a revote.
Okay, let's revote.
Okay. So the motion on the floor is to enter closed session to discuss pending or threatened litigation.
Is there a motion?
Yes.
Leonard Williams, is there a second?
Second.
Brad Santola, call roll, please.
Santola?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Leeper? Yes. Oakley?
Yes.
Staub?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
So I need a motion to, I need you to read the closed session minutes as discussed in closed session.
Closed session minutes were that we met for pending or threatened litigation.
And I need a motion made by Leonard Williams, a second. Who's got it? Oakley, call roll.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Leeper? Yes. Oakley?
Yes.
Staub?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Santola?
Yes.
And a motion to read that.
That's time.
And that was to re-enter? Return. Okay. All right, so that's our open thing. That's what I said. So I need a motion to re-enter open session. Made by Brad Santola, seconded by Mike Staub. Call roll, please.
Just a minute. Leeper? Yes. Oakley?
Yes.
Staub?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Williams? Santola?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes. Okay, and now that we have entered open session, there has been agreement reached, a disciplinary action agreement reached between Sangamon Valley Unit District 9 and Charles Gregory Hutchins Jr. Mr. Hutchins shall be immediately and unequivocally banned from school premises and activities in accordance with 2424 of the Illinois School Code, 105 ILCS 52424, through and including February 16, 2017. The exclusive exceptions to the foregoing are JFL and Sangamon Valley Youth League, which shall be explicitly exempted herefrom, and graduation and promotion of his children, which shall occur on May 19, 2016 and May 20th, 2016. This agreement also contains a strict waiver of further process between the parties as indicated. So then we need a motion to approve said agreement. Motion made by Brad Santola. Is there a second?
I'll second.
By Mike Staub. Call roll, please.
Oakley,
Yes.
Staub,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Williams, Santola,
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Leeper. Yes.
Okay. So that effectively concludes our meeting for this evening, or the special hearing, public hearing for this evening. We'll go on into our regular assigned meeting of the evening.